John, this is 3 fights in pretty quick order for you, man. Yeah. Physically, mentally, I mean, how difficult is this stretch for you?
It's not difficult at all. You know, physically, I feel great. My weight's already down. Mentally, I feel really great as well. It feels very familiar to be here. You know, when you fight so often, you just get this comfort where you just, you know, you feel in your zone. I feel the way I did when I was like super young, fighting just back to back to back. Only difference is I'm a little more mature, I'm a little more sure in my team, and myself, and I'm in a good place. I'm really excited to be here.
Is it a need to make up for lost time? Is that part of the motivation, the drive?
Yeah, 1,000%. You know, I have a lot of supporters that stuck with me even throughout my inactivity, and this is my way to say thank you to my fans for being there and for their unwavering support, and yeah, I'm just more grateful than ever to be the UFC light heavyweight champion. It's a special job to have, and I just want to do right by it. And yeah, I just feel like there's not many things you can do in life to make this type of income. So it's like, if my body's gonna hold up, why not just right until the wheels fall off, right? So I'm here to just continue, you know, dominating and collecting for my family's future.
Yeah. This fight, obviously, a lot's being made of Maheta's power. I mean, is that the biggest concern with him? And is that the way to beat you? I mean, everybody's trying to figure out this riddle, and I think maybe the one thing people say is one-shot knockout. You know, you got to catch him. Do you think that's the way to beat Jon Jones? And is that what you're worried about right now?
I mean, historically, it hasn't been the way because no one's been able to do it. Right? I feel like my fiance has enough power to knock me out if I put my hands behind my back and let her hit me in the chin. It's not about having power, it's about being smart enough to land the shot. And thus far, no one's been smart enough to do it. So I try not to get intimidated by muscles.
Nice. We know you're working towards, you know, GOAT status. You want to make sure that it's established. Where does the champ thing fit to you? I mean, we see one right next to you, and I just wonder, I mean, it doesn't seem to necessarily appeal to you quite as much. Do you feel like that establishes you as a great by having two weight class titles?
I think it's awesome to become a champ, but I also know that I have time to do it. I have a lot of time to do it. Right now, I'm 31 years old. I'm one of the youngest guys in the division, and I feel no need to rush that. Continuing dominance at light heavyweight's working out great for me. You know, providing for my family, breaking records, and when the time is right, you know, I'll try it at heavyweight as well. I think the quickest way to make that happen is for the UFC to reach out to me and say, hey, John, we want to take good care of you to take on some bigger guys, and I'll oblige.
Nice. If this fighting doesn't work out for you, how about financial advisor? I mean, you're out there giving advice to people. What was the motivation behind you reaching out and kind of sharing what you did?
The reason why I came out and I encourage fighters to think about what they're paying management teams is just because there's a lot of fighters out there that's walking away from the sport with nothing. And at the end of the day, you know, I just feel like everyone should be earning what they get, and I just wanted to educate some of the boys at the end of the day. It's like true legacy moves are how you affect other people's lives, and I felt like if one athlete reevaluated the situation and signed a better deal with this program and ultimately saved more money for his family, then that helped. And so yeah, it's about changing lives and giving back. And that was my way of doing it. Just in a small way.
Well, the NFL experience, you know, with your brothers too. I mean, I'm sure that kind of set your mind in a different place about that financial implication.
Yeah, for sure. You know, having brothers in the NFL, you're used to managers, you know, and football taking 1%, 2%, and in MMA, you know, it's common for guys to take 20%, 25%, and we're making a lot less money than NFL players. So something doesn't feel right to me about that, and just to voice it, allow guys to just think a little bit outside the box. I know that's a win for some people, so I'm grateful for anybody who had the opportunity to reevaluate the situation.
Thiago Maheta definitely has a kill or be killed mentality in there. How would you sort of describe your own mentality when you fight?
My mentality is to win. None of that or be killed stuff. You know? My mentality is to win. My mentality is to go out there and fight, try to fight flawlessly, and to have fun with the gifts that I've been blessed with. and that's what I plan on doing. Just going out there and being who I've always been, and that's a guy who looks at himself as extremely skilled, and mainly just a guy who truly believes in himself. I think those are my greatest strengths, just my belief.
You're certainly obviously a Hall of Famer. You know, now obviously when we talk about fights going in specifically, people think you and Gus have a Hall of Fame fight. Is that your Hall of Fame fight, or do you think you have one even better than that in you still?
I think the Gustafson fight could be Hall of Fame worthy for sure. It was extremely entertaining. Both of us ended up in the hospital. A lot of people to this day thinks he won, and that's what makes it such a great fight. I'm definitely honored to have been in it, but I don't look forward to having fights like that. You know, I like to get out of the fights, you know, feeling good about my face and about my brain and things like that. So I don't strive to have those type of wars, but I'm grateful that I did, because now I know I'm capable of surviving that type of thing and coming out on top and pushing and leaving all my heart out there. It's a good feeling.
Historically in the past, you like to you and your team watch your opponents and put your game plan around them. From the outside, it seems like Thiago doesn't really know what he's going to do until he's actually in it, especially in his last few fights in light heavyweight. How do you prepare for a fight?
Just by learning his tendencies. You know, you learn his favorite punches, his favorite kicks. At the end of the day, guys, they tend to do what they're good at out there, and we found some of his tendencies. You know, he's capable of a lot of things. He's an athlete. He's very versatile. But we do believe he has favorite techniques that he goes through, and we've prepared ourselves to counter those and to use those to our advantage. I believe that's what we'll do.
And it seems like ever since you came back, people have been bringing up Daniel Cormier trilogy, moved to heavyweight champ. It seems like they're telling you what they want to see you do. What are goals that you set yourself for? Is it fighting in New York, breaking more title defense records?
Yeah, just to remain undefeated is a goal of mine. You know, just continue dominating the toughest guys in the world, and doing that against, you know, the Thiago Santos and the Luke Rockos and the Chris Weidmans and Johnny Walkers of the world. You know, that's a huge task in itself, and if I'm able to do that, it would just be extraordinary, and I believe that I will. I'm working really hard. I believe more than ever that I'm meant to be here, and that there's no coincidence that I'm in this position, and I'm just earning it day in and day out.
Sean, did you see what happened with Sean OMalley on this card? I'm curious what your thoughts were about. He had a flag drug test for Austrian, and they came out and said, we think it's some old stuff that's in there that's flaring up. So it kind of related to your case a little bit. So I was wondering if you heard any details, and I don't know if it made you almost, not that you would revel in somebody else's problems, but feel good to see, like, hey, see, this happens to people.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel good. You know, I know how stressful it can be to be in his situation. I hope that he is a clean athlete and that he's able to prove that. And you know, I think it's great for the sport. He's extremely entertaining. He's different, and that's what we need. So, you know, I won't be one of those athletes to ravel or to celebrate someone else's sadness. So, you know, I wish nothing but the best for him, and I hope that he can figure it all out.
What do we see on July 6th? What kind of fight is going to go down?
July 6th, I'm planning on going out there and just being myself, man. Being the believer that I've always been, being the hard worker that I've always been, and just believe I'll go out there and have fun and just, you know, glorify my God through my work and through my talent that He's blessed me with.
Is there some kind of business to finish up with Israel Adesanya as well? Why does that name keep floating around?
Man, you know, I don't know if it's because we look kind of alike or what. I don't think we look alike. I think I'm a much better looking guy, to be honest. But thank you, John. Sweet man. No, I don't know. He's an exciting guy, and people want to see us go at it. And I'm here. If he wants to do it, I'm here at the light heavyweight division, sitting at the top of the throne. If he wants some, he knows where to fight.
How important was it to have Holly and Diego in camp at the same time?
It's been great having Holly and Diego in camp with me. We've all been pushing each other. All three of us are very similar when it comes to just, you know, our spiritual beliefs and things like that. You know, so we've been doing a lot of praying for each other and training hard and supporting each other. And I feel strong. I feel like we're strong, sending out a strong unit of people, and I feel like we're going to represent our team very well.
And